I'm your host, B, and this is the Healer's Honey podcast. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Healer's Honey. The topic for today was kind of all over the place. I have been through a lot of kind of weird feelings in the last month or so. Kind of more 2 months, but the last month has really been funky. So I think the primary focus of today is kind of going to be on trusting the process. I have been struggling for a long time to just accept where I am and just kind of relax into a moment. I've never really been good at that. And lately, excuse me. Oh man, my throat is so weird right now. It's allergy season. Lately, I've had a lot of stuff come up for me that basically I'm not focusing on the right things. And I feel that. I actually went to an amazing crystal festival recently and I had this cleansing done, and I learned, maybe I didn't learn a lot, but I was validated. Deeply, deeply validated. What they did for me was they smudged me and wiped me down with these feathers, and they used a pendulum to see which of my chakras were overactive, underactive, balanced, and most of me is pretty balanced. But my throat chakra is underactive, so I'm not expressing myself in the ways that I should be. I'm not being authentic. I'm very closed in that aspect. And my crown chakra is overactive, so I'm very empathetic. I receive a lot of messages, and without expressing them, they just kind of get suppressed. So then they did this egg thing. I don't even know exactly what it's called, but they took an egg and they rubbed it all over my body, and then they cracked it into this liquid, and then you look at the patterns of the egg and you can like learn things. It's kind of a form of divination, like palm reading almost. And the first thing they said was, "Oh, you have a lot of trauma bubbles." And I couldn't help but laugh because I am very aware of the fact that I do have a history of trauma. Most of my life has been living in active trauma. So this was no surprise to me. However, it was kind of nice for somebody else to see it and to be like, "Hey, did you know?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." So that was a little funny to me, and maybe it shouldn't be funny, but it was funny that that's what came up. And the other thing was that my egg yolk had a very thick layer of the whites around it. And the way that it was sitting, it was just kind of like the whites were holding down that yolk, and that comes from the lack of expression. I am holding myself back from something. I am being held back. I don't feel free. I'm very kind of caged. And so having that validation was really not quite eye-opening because I knew it was there, but it let me feel it deeper and what helped me a little bit with the acceptance of it. Then they did some Reiki on me, got my chakras to open. That was kind of crazy too. I had never actually had energy work done on me like that. I have always been the one to perform energy work on other people. I've done it, certain things on myself or whatever, but I've never had a session like that where somebody else worked on me. And for the rest of the day, I was like it was like a really intense buzz. Like I had smoked or drank or something. Like I was just like, woo. Like I can't even really explain it. It was this weird haze. And the festival had this really cool place where you could just go lay underneath some citrus trees. They had pillows and blankets. So I spent the last 45 minutes or so that I was there under those trees with some snacks, just laying and taking deep breaths and observing the bees and just trying to process what had just happened. It was deep. And I always deny myself things like that, especially if I'm with other people. And this day I actually went alone. So I was I highly prioritized getting an energy cleansing because I didn't have anybody there who might judge me or not want to wait for me to do this or think that I was spending too much money on it, which actually it was very affordable. Thank the goddess. I was really juiced. I did a whole cleansing package and it was very affordable. And I'm glad that I did that, partially because I've never had that done on me, and it was great to experience it, especially as somebody who kind of intuitively does the same thing. Like the egg thing kind of tripped me out because there was another point in time specifically, I remember my friend, she said, hey, I've got a lot of energy. And we're actually at a cemetery doing like this ritual. I don't even remember what it was really for. It was beautiful though. We had flower petals and candles. Like it was amazing. But I remember she said, hey, I've got all this energy. It feels stuck. Like, can you help me? And I just said, all right, stand here. And I kind of took my hands and I collected all of the energy. And then I cracked the energy on her back and like released it. And when I did that, she like came alive a little bit. Like there was something inside of her for a while after that, actually. And she was just a little more happy and bubbly. And she was like, wow, dude, I really, like that helped me. So it was really interesting to have done that kind of intuitively. And then to have come to this festival and done this cleansing thing. And there was just a lot of similarities in the same type of intuitive energy work that I have done for other people. So that was really interesting for me too. Like I said, all of this was very validating. And as much as I try not to seek validation, I sometimes feel lost without it. Like where I am right now, I have accomplished so much and I am so much different and farther along than I ever thought that I would be at this point in my life. I have people all the time tell me that they're proud of me and that they have seen me grow. And without that, sometimes I don't think I would be able to stop and be proud of myself. Because now I've always been a little bit of an overachiever. And then when I'm not doing anything, I feel unworthy and even lazy, even though I am always striving to be better and to do better and make better for myself and whatever. Even when I'm always going all in, if I'm not seeing like immediate results, I don't feel that I'm doing enough. And so I don't take those moments to be proud of myself like I should. I don't sit where I'm at and be grateful and accepting and see this step within the bigger picture. I'm always just looking at the bigger picture. So having all that validation at the festival was really good for me because it kind of realigned me with what I've always known I'm supposed to be doing. And a lot of this woo-woo, hippie, witchy, spiritual stuff, people don't know what to think. They either criticize and judge it and think that it's scary or weird or whatever, or they're like super into it and they're like, oh, fuck yeah, that's cool. It's really one or the other. There's no like middle ground. And I have experienced both sides of that, but I have experienced a lot of that's fucking weird. You're never gonna get anywhere with that. You need to Go to college and get a real job. I laugh because I'm in college. Not that I'm striving for a quote unquote real job. Even if I was, that's fine. Totally fine. Some people are great. They can work for other people and have like a successful business or be a successful employee and they love it and that's their life and that's fine. Not me. I've never been conventional. None of that typical stuff has ever worked for me. I am going to college to get a degree in business management and then to get another degree in agricultural science so that I can run my own spiritual coaching and energy work company on my own farm. That's the goal. That is the goal. It's been the goal for many years, and now I'm actually taking steps to do the thing. I'm doing all of the technical things right now. What I've been avoiding is all of the spiritual things because I feel like I need credentials or I need so much experience, which I have a lot more experience than I give myself credit for. I rented my first How to Witchcraft book when I was probably 12 or 13 from the local library. I was really young when I started studying this stuff. Sorry, my dog's being weird. So I have a lot of knowledge. I have a lot of experience. I've been in touch with my intuition most of my life. However, I have definitely put it on the back burner to follow the path that other people in my life wanted me to follow. She's so cute. She's playing with a toy. I'm sorry. So with all of that, come on. Come on, baby girl. Come on. Don't make me pick up your butt. Oh my gosh, she's lazy. She's a little lazy. Little lazy baby dog. Little tiny pupper. Whoop, whoop. No, don't lick me, please. No, but can you see what I deal with? She's a good girl. She's a very good girl. She's doing good. Anyhow, how this all relates to trust the process. Okay. Like I said, struggle to be in a moment, in a phase, in an era. I'm always thinking, okay, what's next? What do I need to do to get even farther right now? What can I do to make $1,000 by tomorrow? Like, my brain is always thinking about how can I get the most as fast as possible. And that's good. That's good in the sense of I have big goals. I have a lot of ambition. I want things for myself. Awesome. Super dope. But also I expect more results faster than they're going to come. I lack patience. And sometimes I think if I'm not doing it now or if I don't have it now, maybe it's never going to come for me. And I felt that a lot more strongly in the past, especially when I was not working and not sure what to do with my life, very active in disability and deeply struggling. Those phases of my life were really hard and I wanted so much and could not do anything with them. And so now there are moments I get scared that I'm not going to progress, even though I'm literally in the middle of progression. I'm working a job for the first time in 4 years. And even though I don't love it and I would like to do something else with my time, I only have to work 3 days a week and I can pay my bills and I can save a little bit of money. That's pretty cool. I'm going to school full time. And maybe it doesn't feel like that all the time because I do everything online. But I need that right now because I'm not used to doing things in person. The fact that I even have a job that I go to and I'm in a room with 20 plus people in the morning for 2 hours or so, an hour. That's crazy to me. That is crazy. I am doing so many things I couldn't have done 6 months ago. And yet, for some reason, there's part of me that's like, this isn't enough. You need more. You need to be doing more. You need to be studying more. You need to have more results by now. And you need to make changes to get more results. And I've been trying to work on like gratitude for where I'm at. Like, I have an apartment. I thought I was going to be living in my car, and now I have an apartment. That's pretty cool. This is the first time I've not had roommates. I've not lived with family. That's pretty freaking cool. And I should enjoy this while I'm here. I work a job that pays for this. And that pays for me to buy a new used car for lots of money and make payments on it. Like, I thought that was going to be a thing when I was in my late 30s, early 40s. Like, I never saw myself getting a car like this. I just got a car. I didn't know if I was going to be able to afford the dog I had, let alone get another one. And now we have this thing. There's so much in my life going good for me. I have paddle boards. And we were able to just get them on a whim. Hey, you feel like paddleboarding? Yeah, okay, let's go get paddle boards for almost $300. You know? There's just so many things in my life right now that are awesome. And I'm taking them for granted a little bit because I'm so focused on my end goal, which is the farm. And I know even once we get the farm, it's going to be like a lot of cultivation and hard work to make it the beautiful farm of my dreams. Like, if you haven't watched The Biggest Little Farm, I highly recommend it because that is literally, that's it for me. That's it for me. That is so it. And I feel guilty sometimes because I'm not enjoying the moment like I feel like I should be. And then that guilt makes me feel weird, and then I feel like I need to work harder to enjoy things, and I don't know. There's just a cycle of I'm never doing enough. And so especially after that whole cleansing divination thing at the Crystal Fair, I very much feel like I just need to slow down. And that doesn't mean to be less ambitious. It means that I need to prioritize things like taking a bath on Saturdays. That I need to sit with myself and just be where I'm at. I need to stop overthinking and worrying and planning, and I just need to exist where I'm at. If anything, the only thing I feel like I quote unquote need to be doing is I need to work on my spiritual hygiene again. Because I was doing, cleansings and meditation and all this stuff for a while. And life got kind of busy and I got kind of overwhelmed. And I'm tired all the time now. I don't like that. I am tired all the time. And so I just have not prioritized my spirituality. And with that being such a core thing in my entire life, and especially, what I want to do with my life, I feel like I'm not fully walking the path that I need to be walking. And so really, I'm just going to try and let go of everything else. He sleeps and goes, woof. This guy. But yeah, I just want to let go of everything. The stress of my job. I need to stop worrying about that, dude. Like, yeah, the job is hard. The job is weird. Management is weird. My coworkers are kind of weird. I love them, but it's a weird, fucked up family over there, okay? And it's a job. You could lose it at any minute. That's how jobs work. There's not great job security unless you're making that for yourself. Or you've got like some sweet ass gig. But even then, job security is never 100%. And that worries the shit out of me because I'm paying for so much stuff for the first time in my life. And that's just something I need to not worry about. I have the job. I'm paying for the stuff. Why am I freaking out? I don't know. I literally don't even know. In school, I am doing my school. I'm doing it. I'm almost done with my first year. I have 3 weeks and I'm done with my first year. And I'm so just like ready to graduate. Like I'm so ready to just have the degree. And there are clubs and there are things that I want to do on campus. And I'm not taking advantage of any of that stuff because I'm like, man, I want to get through it. I'm rushing. I'm not enjoying the process. I'm not enjoying being a student. This is something in my life. Once I'm done with this, I don't know if I'm going to go back to it. I mean, I love a good online course and getting some fancy certification, so I'm sure that I will be continuing education in those kinds of ways. But who knows if I'm ever going to be a college student once I get these degrees. So I should probably slow the fuck down and take some time to really enjoy this era in my life. And this is something I even had to focus on when I was in the middle of my depression, and that is when things actually started falling together. When my boyfriend and I got together and I moved in with him, I was not working. I did sign up for school, but I was not working, and I was sitting at home, and I was very, oh my God, just in a shell. It's so crazy to me that he even wanted to be with me because I understand that I'm like super dope or whatever, but I had like nothing going on. I had nothing going on. And he accepted that. He was the first person in my life to truly accept that. He was like, well, I'm working. I'm getting money from school. Just do your thing. Like, chill out, reset yourself, do whatever you got to do, and it will fall into place in the right time. And so I gave myself permission to be taken care of and to stop worrying so much about all of the things that I wasn't doing. And it was then that opportunity started coming. That's when I got the job at Amazon. That's when we were able to, we didn't even get in here. I didn't have any pay stubs. I had just started working. We saved up a little bit of money for the down payment and I think first month's rent or whatever. And I got a letter from work that said how much money I was estimated to make. Like, we really did not have shit together. And we were still able to pull it off. I was able to borrow cars to get to work for the last couple months. Now I have a new car. And it was really, when I just stopped worrying and trusted the process and accepted where I was, that things really started to move forward. Now I'm at this place and I'm feeling kind of stagnant and I don't really know what to do. I'm kind of antsy. I'm not settled. And it's almost not quite by choice, but it feels a little bit by choice because I could relax and just enjoy where I'm at and say, hey, this is good enough for right now. I'm working on things. I'm going to school. I'm planning other things and whatever, and that's great. But they're not going to be done tomorrow. And so I need to just exist where I'm at and learn to calm down and not rush things. Because when I'm out of this era, I'm going to look back and say, oh my God, do you remember, the apartment and when we were in college and blah, 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 my shitty job and, and I'm going to look back and part of me is going to miss it. As much as I don't want to believe that, part of me is going to miss this when it's over. Even when I'm on to bigger and better and more amazing things and I have my farm and whatever else, I'm going to miss this. And I think that if I just take some more time and effort, and again, for me, that comes back into my spirituality of meditating more and being in the moment more and doing more ceremonies of blessing my house and myself and just really feeling the energy and the vibe and the moment. Like, I know that will help me in the long run as much as it will help me right now. Because, man, the anxiety and the depression have been creeping back in lately. They really have. And especially, I get this weird summertime sadness thing, okay? I don't get winter depression. That's not a thing for me. I get summertime sadness, straight up. And there's a lot of, like, nostalgia stuff and just feelings. I just feel so much in the summertime, and, like, there's so much I want to be doing because it's summertime and I, like, don't do things, and it's just this whole big thing. So I'm combating that as well as just trying to accept where I am and being in this whole new era of life. There's a lot going on, and I have all of these emotions, and I'm not allowing myself to process anything. I'm not taking the time to self-care, to spiritual hygiene, cleanse, whatever. I'm not doing that kind of stuff. I'm just worried about the future. And that's not helpful. That is not helpful. And focusing on the now is really difficult sometimes, especially if you don't love the present moment that you're in. But it all comes back to those little things, the little tiny things. I love this couch, dude. Sitting on this couch is dope. This is my first couch. This is my first fucking couch. That's awesome. I'm probably not going to have it forever, but it is amazing. And while I have it, I should enjoy sitting on this couch, because I'm going to one day tell stories. Hey, remember that couch we got? And we had it in our first apartment. And oh man, it was so cute and whatever. I'm going to miss this someday. I'm going to miss my curtains, and I'm going to miss my dogs when they're gone. And I'm going to miss, like, I'm starting this podcast in such a monumental place in my life, physically and metaphorically. And, like, even doing this, there are days on podcast film days, and I wake up and I'm like, oh, not want to do it. And part of me is like, okay, well, this is your monthly commitment, so just show up. And part of me is like, as this evolves, you're going to look back on these early episodes and go like, holy shit, dude. Remember that? That's how it all started. And every moment you're in is both the beginning and the end of an era. It's the beginning and end of a phase, of a cycle, of whatever. Like, right now is the ending of so much past bullshit and trauma. And it is the beginning of the rest of my life, which I'm going to make amazing. There's no doubt. It's going to be amazing. I'm not going to let it be any other way. Things happen, and you got to roll with the punches sometimes. Do not get me wrong. But from where I've come from and where I've been, this right now is such a catalytic moment. And I just haven't been with it. I have not been present. I've been dissociating a lot lately, and that's something I haven't done in months. I do not like that. And I know that I just sometimes have to let myself do it, and I don't need to fight it. And I just, because my body is overwhelmed, because my mind is overwhelmed, and that is okay. It happens. But I know that I could be doing more to avoid those kinds of things. And in doing more to avoid those kinds of things, I am worrying less about everything else and just being here. So doing more and doing less together. It's such a weird, wonky concept of trusting the process and being in the moment. Because there is so much more to it. It's not as simple as it sounds sometimes. Surrender is hard. And I tell myself all the time, like, girl, you just need to surrender. Like, stop fighting. And I'm such a fighter. Such a fighter. Like, so it's really hard for me to just sit and be settled. I am a mover, a goer, a doer. I don't like sitting in stagnance. I don't. But then when I'm going and I'm moving and I'm doing too much, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I just want to sit and do nothing. And like, no matter what, I'm a complainer. Straight up. I complain. I will admit that. But I really am focusing on how that is affecting my mindset. And I'm trying to stop complaining quite as much and find some fucking gratitude in every day, because that is what is going to really help get me through this phase and to the next phase with a smile on my face and feeling good. So if you are somewhere and you are struggling, I encourage you to make a plan and take small steps to change your life, because that is possible. Whether it is look for a job if you have one that you hate, and just kind of do it on the side. Don't overthink it. Don't stress about it. Just start putting in some applications. Call a place every once in a while. Something will come for you. If you're living somewhere you don't want to live, look into housing options. Look into finding a roommate. Even if that's scary and that's uncomfortable, look into it. Do something. Make small moves. If you are unhappy with your daily routines, okay, stop waking up and scrolling on your phone for an hour. I'm talking to myself too. Get up and make a beverage or a snack, or just go sit outside, or like stretch first. Do something different. And also don't overthink the future. Observe where you're at. Be where you're at. Find any little tiny positive thing about where you're at to make it bearable. And think about your past a little bit. Reflect on stuff and be like, hey, for me, as absolutely horrifying as most of the things in my life have been, I am grateful to have those experiences and to have had those struggles, because I am now who I am. I have experience, I have knowledge, I have so much. I have skills. I have so many skills that I would never have had if I had not been through those situations. I have understanding that I didn't have before. And even if this moment seems shitty, I've gotten through other shit in the past. I can get through this moment. I can find lessons in this moment. I can learn from right where I'm at. I can learn to enjoy where I'm at. If I had moments in the past where I was in my absolute lows and I was still able to make it a good time, I can definitely do that now. So yeah, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to just chill out a little bit, accept where you are, and don't stress too much. Have a plan, keep moving forward, but don't overdo it, dude. Because when you get there, you're not going to be that happy because you rushed through everything. You're going to be all stressed out, and maybe it won't be quite as settled as you want it to be, and it won't be as solid and whatever. And you're going to look back on life and be like, man, I wish I would have taken more time to just exist and be and live in that moment. So don't end up regretting things like that in the future. Don't overdo it. Don't overstress yourself. Take some deep breaths. Chill out. Take it one day at a fucking time. One day at a time. We never know when a moment is going to be our last. There are so many things out there that a long life is not guaranteed. So just enjoy the moment. Truly, deeply, fully. Focus on things that you love. Personally, I love nature and the earth, and I love a lot of really little things. And for some reason, I always think there has to be something big to make me happy. But like, dude, sitting on my back porch and looking at the little garden that I have is amazing. It's so dope. It's so dope. And I don't do it enough because it's too small. But it's exactly what I need. So seriously, don't overthink it. Don't corrupt your own thinking with having high expectations. Just be. I think that's it for this episode, you guys. I think I covered a lot, actually. My timer still has 7 minutes on it, which I'm going to say that's pretty good. Less than 45 minutes. Ooh. Last time it was really long and I was like, I didn't have a timer set. But I think this episode covered a lot of stuff, a lot of really important stuff. And every time I do these two, I also grow. It gives me a time to sit and reflect on shit and kind of give myself pep talks. And I need this. I also need this. I do this for other people out there who might need it. And that's why I share on the internet and whatever else. But I also do this for me because having this, being able to express these things is amazing. It is so good for me. Feeling this energy of, oh, look, I'm a podcaster now. I've got things to say. That's a whole thing for me, you guys. Like, it's a whole thing. I love it. So I'm so glad that I got to sit with you and sip my weird, it's an herbal coffee. It's got like chicory root and dandelion root and burdock root, and it's got some cacao and like a bunch of stuff in here. It's delicious though. It's delicious. I love to come and sit and drink my beverages and hang out with the pups, and I have food. I have not touched my food. I will eat my food after this. I always want to eat my food and then I just talk and talk and talk and talk. But that's the point. That is the point of this podcast, is to chat. So thank you for coming and seeing and being with me. So go out, enjoy your day, your week, your month, your year, your moment. Enjoy your fucking moment. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for supporting the Healer's Honey podcast and project. Please like and subscribe or follow to stay up to date with future content. I'm your host, B, and I'll see you next time.